Is Monday, July 2nd, 2018. Thanks for joining us. I am back. Good to be back. Good to see everyone. Let us get started for this week. Friends of Mozilla for this week. Big thanks to tech speakers Yuli and Jayesh for talks delivered last week in Mexico and India. We love our tech speakers, love when they're out speaking, and this is no exception. Thank you very much. And thanks to all community members who contributed code to add-ons projects during the month of June. Special thanks goes to Shivam, EXE Boss, Trishul, Linus, Gabby Jose, I Am Kush, and Gabru MD for making multiple contributions to add-ons. We love that we have an active contribution base on the add-ons project, and we appreciate your multiple contributions. Thank you very much. And I wanted to throw in an extra shout out thank you to Lucille, who graciously stepped in last week to host in my stead. She did a fantastic job, and I appreciate her filling in for me. So thank you very much for my guest host. All right, refreshing the wiki. It's always prudent. Any events going on this week? It's almost like it's a holiday week. Your United Statesian friends will be off on Wednesday. If you are elsewhere, we are celebrating our Independence Day. And with that, we'll go into speakers. All right, it's going to be a quick one. But we do have Asa here this week to give us the weekly roadmap update.
Thanks, Potch. Firefox 61 is our current release. 62 is in the beta channel and goes to release on September 5th. In the last week, there have been about a dozen uplifts to beta. None of them look particularly exciting, so I'm going to skip over any of the details there. If you want to look it up, we've got a great tool I'll link in the wiki afterwards that lets you follow what's being uplifted to beta. Firefox 63 is in the nightly channel and goes to release October 23rd. In the last week, there have been about 350 non-test fixes. There were about 50 test fixes in there that I didn't include. First, a 15-year-old bug, support for CSS3 content property replacement elements was fixed. Anytime something that takes that long to get fixed gets resolved, I'd like to bring it up in these updates. We also had a fix for column and row gap for Flexbox, so that's now supported. Users can opt out of seeing the editor when they bookmark a page. When you bookmark a page and you get the little pop-up dialog that lets you edit that, there's now a checkbox there that says don't show this again, so that you can simply bookmark with one click. Firefox now has infrastructure to move activity stream into its own process. Users who have enabled multi-select tabs can now pin and unpin a selection of tabs. This is still behind an about config preference, but for those of you who enabled it, you can now pin groups of tabs. And finally, the open bookmark and sidebar in the sidebar feature has been removed. So if you use that, it's gone. It was under-maintained, under-specified, and had bugs. So better remove than to continue with a buggy feature. That's it for this week's Firefox update. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Asa. If you are sad about the removal of the open bookmark and sidebar, may I recommend SideView, the test pilot tool. You can help test out a Firefox feature that may let you do this in a better way. So plugging test pilot. You're welcome, John. All right, next up we have Heather giving us an update on the anti-harassment training stuff. Our wonderfully simple slide.
Simple and to the point. Good morning. Thank you so much. My name is Heather Durham. I am the compliance manager. On May 1st, we relaunched our anti-harassment trainings from Centrio to all staff. Everyone was given 90 days to complete the course. If you have not completed the course, you probably received an email over the weekend from Mozilla. I see a lot of Mozilla Online Learning to complete the course by July 29th. Any new hires after May 1st will be on a different training schedule, so you probably have not seen that email. A few reminders about the course. All staff are being given the California Managers course. It is the most comprehensive course that Centrio offers, and that is why we chose it for all staff. So even if you are not a manager, you have been given the Managers course. This course is also a forced 2 hours course, which means that you have to take it for 2 hours. If you skip ahead, the system will actually slow you down, so you can't move ahead. So just so you know, so if you get, I apologize for the frustration, but it is a forced 2 hour course. If you no longer have the emails with all of the links, you can access it, the Centrio site on the Mozilla SSO dashboard and just click the Centrio button. This is our lovely mana page. Anti-harassment training, Centrio. So if you have any questions, you can visit our page. It has all the FAQs, or as always, email me, and I'm happy to assist where I can. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather. All right. And next we have Jason Weathersby, who's going to be reading off the Emerging Technologies headlines. Hello, Jason.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right, welcome everyone from sunny South Carolina here. In developer outreach, we have several channels that are really geared towards moment-in-time messaging and educating developers on what our latest technologies are. Currently, those are Mozilla Hacks blog and YouTube channel, and we also have a channel called Layout Land. As of today, we have over 2 million unique developers that have come and visited those sites. That's a 50% increase over last year. So a lot of great work by that team. But a couple of things that worth pointing out is we try to match those to audiences. Like, for example, Layout Land is really geared towards CSS designers. And we have this whole set of tools that are being developed in Firefox. So we gear these channels to those tools. For example, CSS Shapes is coming out in Firefox 62. The Shape Editor will be available in Developer Tools, which is really, really cool. Jen Simmons covers a video demoing this tool in the on Layout Land channel. I think 2 weeks ago there's a video out there. So please go take a look at it. Make sure you subscribe and share. Definitely share. All right, so moving on. Last week, Dropbox announced DivANS, which is basically an open source modular framework for doing compression. And as everyone knows, compression is a big deal for Dropbox in their line of business. Even if they can get a 1% increase, they're happy, right? Well, this is built with Rust. Currently, it's built in Rust, and it compiles to WebAssembly so they can run it in a web page, which is really, really cool. And it's a great use case for that scenario, Rust to WebAssembly. Well, they're currently getting somewhere between, on early data sets, obviously, between 2.5% to 12% increase in their performance, which is fantastic. So, if you want any more data on it, go check out their blog where they call out how fast, reliable, and productive Rust is, and couldn't be more proud of the Rust team on this, and WebAssembly team. Last thing I want to cover real quick is the speech-to-text engines. As everyone knows, our deep speech team is working on speech-to-text engines. They train these models using data they collected from the Common Voice project. Well, recently they added 4 additional languages, which are Turkish, Tatar, Breton, and Chuvash. Those 4 languages bring the total up to 14 different languages they're collecting data on now, with 43 more in the pipeline. So that's a quick update. You can check out the link to see how you can submit samples and work on the project. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to ET.
Thank you, Jason. All right, and next we've got Michael Van Cleek in Portland with the Weekly Minute. Hello.
Hey, Poch, welcome back.
Thank you.
Hey, it's the Weekly Minute, everybody. It's weekly updates from Mozilla IT on the things we're doing to support and empower Mozilla, all of Mozilla, on our mission to keep the web a global public resource, open and accessible to all. An internet that truly puts people first, where individuals can shape their own experience and are empowered, safe, and independent. First of all, it's not on here, but I encourage you all, if you haven't seen it already, to see the Tim Berners-Lee article on Vanity Fair and being promoted by Pocket today. Fascinating. Tim Berners-Lee, of course, is the forefather of the web. Says some interesting things about how the web has developed. It's something that we should consider as we keep going in our mission to preserve the web that Berners-Lee and others created as a way to share scientific documents to start with. So check that out. A couple announcements this week on the Minute. First of all, this Friday, our DevOps cohort is meeting. The DevOps cohort meets the first Monday of every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can join us, or Daylight Savings Time, sorry. You can join us in the DevOps video channel or watch it on Airmo. It's a monthly meeting for Mozillians interested in all topics related to DevOps, which is roughly the intersection of development and operations. This week, Daniel Hartnell is going to be sharing what we've learned about Amazon's Elastic Container Service for Kubernetes. So come join us this week for the DevOps cohort, or join us every month for it. And like I said, you can see it on Airmo now. And second of all, the other thing I want to talk about, are you interested in learning more about how we track contribution at Mozilla and what you can learn from that data? Bitergia, the company who's behind our community analytics dashboard, based upon the Grimoire Labs open source product, They'll be in our San Francisco office on Friday, July 20th. You can check out our community analytics dashboard. It's incredibly rich. It's full of information about all sorts of things we work on. I was looking at things this morning getting ready for this about our pull requests, Stack Overflow postings, Bugzilla. There's all sorts of interesting data. It's great to dig in there and say, wow, Mozilla's doing this. So get in there, check it out, and as you learn more about it, if you'd like to participate in a tutorial or a Q&A on July 20th, reach out to Susie Struble. She's at Susie on Slack. The agenda for July 20th is still being finalized, but there will be remote participation for all these events. You'll be able to join in from your home, from your office, wherever. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michael. All right. And last of today, Wiki just jumped around. We have Yohai up in San Francisco, who's going to be talking about the Mozilla Open Source Support Program. Hello.
Thanks, Batch. My name is Yochai Ben-Avi. I'm here to talk to you in my role as the MOS administrator. So MOS is a $2.2 million fund that supports free and open source development that advances the Mozilla Manifesto. This program was started in 2015. Those of you who are at All Hands in Orlando may remember that, and continues to this day. Why are we doing this? So Mozilla was born out of the free and open source community, and we want to give back to that community. We want to recognize, celebrate, and support open source projects that contribute to our work and to the health of the internet. And ultimately, we want to advance our mission. This is one of the tools in our toolbox to do that. MOS has 4 tracks. So the first is our foundational technologies track. We have dependencies, we're an open source project. We have dependencies on other open source projects. We want to make sure those folks are supported and that they're thriving. 2 is our global mission partners track. So track 2 of MOS supports really any free and open source project that's advancing our mission around the world. Track 3 is our secure open source technology fund. So bug bounties are really cool. We have them, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, the US Department of Defense, and a lot of other folks do. And those work well for us because we actually have the infrastructure to assess bugs and patch them. But a lot of the open source technologies that the internet relies on often lacks that kind of infrastructure. And so the Secure Open Source Project funds security audits and remediation for widely used open source technologies. And finally, as we seek to internationalize MOS, we've built a Global Mission Partners India track that funds free and open source development specifically in India or that benefits India. So what can you do to help advance MOS? One is spread the word. We have a sweet new application form through Flux that also helps us to run this program much more efficiently and effectively. 2, encourage people to apply. We've got a bunch of money, but we got to make sure that's going to great people and great projects, and you're part of that, finding those folks. And finally, nominate projects and let us know what dependencies you have, especially for those track 1 or track 3 foundational technology secure open source fund. Let us know what you're concerned about, and we'll see if there are ways that we can support that through MOS. Finally, just want to let you know this program was historically run by Jerv Markham, who, as many of you know, has stepped back from his work at Mozilla due to escalating health issues. The team running MOS today is myself as the MOS administrator, joined by Lindsay Frost-Dodson, Mayad Jayasaraya, Kalpana Sinha. And please come talk to any of us if you have any questions about MOS. Thanks, Pach.
Thank you, Yohai. All right. Make sure no one else has hopped onto the schedule. Does not look like it, but we do have one introduction, and it looks like they are in San Francisco today. So if we can do our introduction up in the SF.
Wani over on the Android product team. We have got a few great interns this summer. Sawyer started 5-6 weeks ago now, I forget. But we have Olivia with us. She actually started 2 weeks ago, but this meeting got canceled, and then we missed it. She's going to be working on Focus iOS. So if you're an iOS user and Focus has sort of been quiet as of late, this summer you're going to see a lot of whiz-bang stuff happening. I'm going to put the pressure on her to build some great features for iOS 12. So welcome to Mozilla, and we can't wait to see what you build.
Wonderful. Welcome. All right. And with that, I think we are all wrapped up for this week. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Hello to everyone who's watching later, and I hope you have a fantastic week and keep on rocking the free web. See ya.